Dings ist weg, Alex.
Oh, okay. Welcome everyone to another season of Division 2. We are here for the first round of season 18 at Silverstone at the British Grand Prix. My name is Felix Vaughan and I'm joined by last season's champion PC Wooly. Welcome.
Good evening.
You've been promoted from the track to the commentary booth on account of you being ever so slightly too fast for Division 2.
Yeah. Well, I feel like under a bit. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be fun. We have a strong grid here, 19 cars on today's grid. We're all ready to go. I'll tell the guys to ready. Yeah, of course, we already had the Division 3 race yesterday. A very fun one that was, the first ever Division 3 race. The winner of that race being Flavors, but great pace shown as well by the likes of Owise and Pix, who came from the back of the field. Owise after a Lapmont crash, Pix after a qualifying crash. Mihai as well in the fight for the win for a long time. Viral showed great pace on two-stop strategy, almost catching the one-stoppers, which at Silverstone is quite an achievement. So there are quite a few drivers who you'd usually see in the midfield of Division 2 who, yeah, showed promise yesterday. And we'll see if that transfers over. But of course, our main contenders are, well, mostly the usual suspects. One of them not, well, still with us. You haven't died. You're still here. Just, yeah, now you get to watch. So what
Instead
would
of
you say?
live,
Who's
yeah.
the favorite in your mind?
For this race or the whole season?
We can do both. Let's start with this race, and then we can talk about the season.
This race, I reckon it's Gabri or Cuckoo, actually. As for the whole season, it's probably because, again, with Gabri, Cuckoo, Sean, maybe Phantom. Who knows? It's a long season again with spiced up with like and different events. For example, the sprint 3 times. So we'll see.
Yeah. Sorry. I would agree as well. The names you mentioned, obviously coming into every season, Gary's one of the favorites, Kuko's one of the favorites, Sean also definitely in that group. Although he's been, well, the last few seasons, every time we talk about him, it is mostly about his fall off, which is a bit. I mean, Sean is not terrible now, but he used to be a whole lot better. Um, Phantom, a name you mentioned as well. Unfortunately, not racing today. He's busy with work, I believe. So he's missing the opener, his home race in Britain. But yeah, over the course of the season, I'd say Phantom has the big disadvantage that he's basically most of the time not able to qualify, and that yeah, it's gonna make it fairly difficult to be in a championship fight. So I would say I think I put in the predictions sheet that Sean is winning today, so I'm gonna stick by that. But one name as well that we haven't talked about yet is Sully, because Sully actually is a reserve driver for this season. He did not stay as a main driver after last season as well. But he's here tonight, so he's one driver to look out for as well for tonight. And I mean, maybe if he has a good race, I mean, if he wins the first round, I would not be surprised if we see him next week. And then if he wins that one as well, all of a sudden he's going to say, well, I'm going to go for the championship, sorry. You're not going to just give that
Exactly.
opportunity up. And we have a very big grid here. Yeah, 19 cars. Mostly main drivers. We've got a couple of guys missing this race. Edwin got a race ban for his antics in Abu Dhabi between himself and Lanky Brown. So he's not here tonight. Other than that, the drivers who aren't racing are Phantom, who would be in the Sauber, Bombardino would be in the Aston Martin, and then who else checked out today? Flavors, who would be in the Alpine, and Miai, who would be in the V-Cup. Well, they are replaced quite well. We've got Dimitris Stavroudis in the Aston Martin, a driver who I know quite well. Used to be an engineer for VNT or NLR at the time. But engineer, you know, there's a reason he's in Division 2. Another reserve as well, an engineer from Ventari. Skoloin in the Red Bull replacing. Um, who is he replacing? Do I not know my? He's not. He's a main driver. Holy shit! I don't know my own grid. Yeah, the other reserves in this race being Alex G in the Alpine replacing Flavors, Gilles Valentine in the Sauber replacing Phantom Fox, and then finally, who's the fourth one? Have I gone insane? It wasn't only three. Oh, Sully, of course, we talked about him. But yeah, the rest of the field are the drivers you'll be seeing all season. First couple of drivers are in lap. Maxi's starting one right now if you'd like to take him through a lap. So over the main straight, using a bit of overtake down towards turn 1, fully flat of course. Downshift to 7th gear to get the RPM back up. And now braking just when the curb begins on the left hand side, gets the car rotated onto the apex quite nicely. And down to 2nd gear through here I imagine. Stays in, there we go, down to 2nd. Coming up to the first DRS straight now. Crucial to get a good exit there, and it looked like he got a pretty good exit. Down towards Luffield, braking at about 50 meters. 4th gear. Early apex for Maxi there. And to the second part. Also important to be on the throttle as early as you're there, but a bit of oversteer there costing him crucial thousands and tenths. As picks for the first lap of the session in a 27.0. Gilles Valentine 27.4. The pole time in Division 3 yesterday was a 26.4 from Owais. So that I think is the first baseline we're looking for. Once again 27.0 from Alex G. We'll see 27.2. So fairly close together. Most of the drivers right now. Action Rig 28.8. So Maxi has got 2 corners to go here. Braking at the 100 meter board for Club. Into Vale. And down towards the line. His first lap of the session will be a 1:27.150. That's P3.
Next up is Survival.
Violent driver to look out for as well. Had a great start in the season last time around. Dropped off around the midway point, and that's a 26.941 provisional pole position for DC Rival. Lanky Brown up to the line with a bit of a slide. Oh, and Gabri, 26.5. There we go. Lanky Brown, 27.8. Owais, 26.7.
Hopto goes third.
We've got a, what's that, Alpine? Williams down to the line. That's Alex G back in the pit lane, so the next one over the line is the Ferrari of Kuko.
And he's fastest in Sector 2. 3 fastest in Sector 1.
So a good lap in store for us for Kuko here, I imagine. That's a 26.237 P1 for the moment for Kuko. Up next, Pocho over the line. 26.895, that's 5th place. As Staff goes 11th fastest, 27.2.
And Sully abandons his lap. Was fastest in Sector 2.
Skoloin 27.7. Second to Ferrari. It's a very strong team here actually, Ferrari. Sean, the first time we see him driving in Division 2 without Ewek as his teammate. And he's also moved from his long love of Williams to join Kuko at Ferrari. And yeah, a very, very strong team. Kuko and Sean, of course, both champions in Division 2, 4 championships between them. And, well, actually the only champions, full-time drivers on the grid anyway. And they are currently 1-2. Well, you can tell that they're champions. P1 for Kuko, P2 for Sean. Lanky Brown is lagging all over the place, that's a bit scary. Hopefully that's gonna sort itself out for the race, otherwise that could definitely cause some problems because he is really teleporting left and right everywhere. So who have we got on a push lap right now? Owais, I think, is another one.
Second one.
And I think Sean, he's on hot lap, yes, but I think he's out of fuel. Yeah, so Sean not on hot lap here. Sully as well, up by 4 seconds, of course, on that 140.8 he abandoned the lap earlier. So about to see a big improvement there. And of course, Sully always a driver to look out for in Division 2. Always near or at the front. And that's a 26.636 fourth position. And that top 4 looks fairly familiar. Kuko, Sean, Gabri, Sully. So far, no big surprises. Always 1.5 tenths down in the middle sector, and a bit of a wobble coming into the Hamilton straight. And that's no improvement for him, he stays in 5th place. We have got JM starting a lap right now as well, coming from the first sector. Rejoined the league after a few months. Oh well, I think about 2 years actually. Away, I think I last saw F1 23. So yeah, a long time that JM has been gone. He's finally back. And his pace hasn't really dropped off much. He finished 2nd in Zandvoort last season. We'll see if he can continue that form and, yeah, solidify himself as one of the contenders here in Division 2. And so far, so clean this lap. Very much under control. And we've got a 1:02.845 middle sector, which does show as purple, but that means only he's beaten Lanky and Action Rig.
It's not purple.
Yeah, figured. The way purple works in this game, of course, a bit different to how it works in real life.
Yeah, because I put up the telemetry for once and see that it's green.
Oh, you're prepared. Still a very good lap though, P4. Very, very respectable. Good start to qualifying for JM.
Aussie fastest on Sector 1.
Oh, Aussie.
1.
Alex G coming up to the line, 78,000 gained there. After that it's the Red Bull, I believe. Of Skoloin was on an outlap. And then it's Gilles Valentine. Alex G P10 there. Gilles Valentine at 27.499 needs to improve on here. Over the line, that's a 27.010 P11. Almost half a second gained. Aussie did not improve in the end, abandoned the lap. Then we've got a Haas finishing an outlap. Then Viral, also I think on a slow lap. He's got a lot of cars right behind him there.
Yep. Pixels fast. Hopdog is fast.
Maxi 2.5 tenths down after the middle sector. Up next is Pupdog, and he's on an improvement. 3 tenths. That could put him into the top 4. Top 3 even.
I'll be fast. Just first sector, 27.0.
Pupdog over the line, that's a 26.331. Indeed, that's 3rd position, and it's very close to Sean. Sean slightly up in the first sector, 36,000 gained. 2 Saubers down to the line, but I think Gilles Valentine just did a lap, so he's back in the pit lane, and the same goes for Aussie. After that, it's the Haas of Gabri, who's half a second up.
Yeah,
Gabri could be on for the first 125 of the session. Shortened to 4th. Over the line, and indeed that's the first 125, 25.976 for the Haas driver.
Sean fastest.
Big group of cars over the line at once here, about to see a few position swap. Bazooka 16th, Skoloin 14th.
Sector 2, 35, 0. 3 tenths faster than Gabri.
Two Ferraris coming over the line now. P2 and P3 right now. Let's see if that will change. Sean goes second fastest. Can't beat Gabri. Can Kuku beat Gabri? Not quite. By the tiniest of margins, exactly 1,000 separating Gabri. 25.976 from Kuku, 25.977. And then Sean, 26.003. That is 26,000 to the top 3, 1,000 to the top 2. Stavroulis in the meantime has got up to 6th place. Oh, Pocho!
Pocho wins! And kept it. Oh, look.
Well held, but the lap is still ruined, unfortunately. I think he's less enough time to get back to the pit lane though, so it's not the end of qualifying here. He has got a bit of a problem here with traffic, and he smartly gets out the way by going on the grass. Not a spot you really want to be rejoining after a spin. And he almost got in the way of his teammate. Who was 2.5 seconds down anyway. I think Bazooka is also on the lap, so actually he wasn't going to block anyone anyway. Right now I don't think a single driver is on the hot lap. They're all on the way back to the pit lane at this point, yeah.
Indeed, no one is.
So far then, I would say Pubdog is a very positive surprise hit, up in 4th place. Always with a good qualifying. Picks as well. Other than that though, I mean, I would say it's fairly, yeah, similar to what I would have expected. Usual names at the front.
The 3 tenths is a big gap, honestly.
You mean from Pubdog to Sean?
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, there does seem to be
a 2 tenths to Pubdog to Jay, so...
Yeah, so maybe we have a bit of a top 3 there forming. A group to look out for in the race. And a great start in the season, that looks like, for Ferrari. But of course we knew surely Kuku and Sean are going to be the team to beat here in terms of the fight for constructors. Definitely the strongest lineup on paper. But I would say Aston Martin with JM and Bobolino, today JM and staff, have got a great lineup as well. Can't be counting out Haas either. If Lanky gets, well, maybe not down in 18th, but Lanky gets some solid points as well, and Gabri, of course, we all know his pace. So there certainly is some competition for that Constructors' Championship. Alex G will be the first one across the line on this last group of runs. 27.003 to beat, just outside the 126s. With that, he is currently 12th position. I believe the summer behind him will be Aussie, as the rest of the field is now coming out the pit lane. For Alex G, that's a 1 3/4 of a tenth improvement in the middle sector. With how close the midfield is, that could put him... Well, if he gains a little bit more, all the way into the top 8.
P6 at least.
Yeah, it's a very, very close midfield. If he has a good final sector, there's a lot possible here. And that's a 26.840. That's P10 for now. And the sound behind him was still Valentine, Aussie. Aussie also on a slow lap, Viral on the push lap. And he's next across the line, I think, as well. The car up ahead of him is on an out lap. That's a Williams, yeah. Always actually make both on out laps. Viral 26.
Lower than Alex.
Last corner for Viral. Can he improve on that 26.9? No, he can't. He does not improve and stays in P12. Solely on the push lap as well. He's got some traffic up out of him, which will definitely have hurt him a bit. Still up by 4.5 tenths in the middle sector. Sully on a big improvement here. And that could put him ahead of Pubdog in the 4th, and if he has a good final sector, he can attack the top 3. Oh, just about within track limits. Coming through Stowe. Perfectly on the line by Sully. And that was a really, really good club on Vale chicane as well. That could be a very good time by Sully. It's not quite enough for a top 3, but he's so close. 26.062, he really does solidify himself in that front group. Gabri, Kuko, Sean and Sully. Sean, the first in that group now on a lap after Sully as well. 43 thousandths down in the first sector. Sauber approaching the line, that is Gilles Valentine, but he's going back to the pit lane. No improvement there, he will stay in P13. Next car, the Williams of Action Rig, who's 2.5 tenths up in the middle sector. After that, we've got Aussie, 10th, almost 2 tenths up in the middle sector. And then two McLarens. Proud little lap, Maxi validated. We'll go back to Action Rig as it's coming over the line, goes back to the pit lane. Then we'll go with Aussie. Currently 16th fastest. Let's have a quick look at the leaders. Gabri slightly up, Sean slightly up. Aussie over the line, goes 14 fastest, joins his teammate.
JM having good first sector, always goes 6.
Sean through the last two corners, currently third fastest, he had a bit of improvement in the middle sector, that could be enough for provisional pole position, and it is! But it's so close. Gabri and Kuko basically need the tiniest little improvements even to get that position back. Gabri 1.5 tenths up. Kuko 2 tenths up, but he made a mistake in the middle sector. 64,000 down now. No, up still. But he lost a 10th in the middle sector. So far it looks like Gabri is going to get that pole position back. But there's a lot of traffic up ahead of him, where at least they are all on hot laps, so he's just about fine, I think. They will just about be far enough away in the end. Skoloin 13th. Gabri over the line, and he does take back pole position. Can Kuko counter? He can't!
No, he can't! 7,000.
It is Gabri on pole for round 1 at Silverstone. 25.834 and then 25.847 by Kuko. What a incredibly close margin there in the front row. His teammate Sean in third position. Great qualifying for Ferrari. Great start of the season. P2 and 3. Right behind Gabri. And then Sully in 4th place. 3 Italians in the top 4. 2 Ferraris. I think if you're an Italian, Division 2 really is heaven. We've got JM around in the top 5, then followed by Pubdog, very close together as well. 157, 191. Always in 7th position, confirming his great pace from yesterday. Goes even faster than yesterday. Stav in 8th. Then we've got Pigs in 9th, Pocho around to the top 10. 2 tenths behind that, XG in 11th. Followed by Viral, Skoloin in 13th, then Gilles Valentine, the first one outside the 126s in 14th. His teammates Aussie behind him in 15th, then Maxi 16th, Bazooka 17th, Lanky 18th, and Action Rig finally rounds out the field in P19.
It's close, like all
now
those
the question
tiny
is,
groups. I'd say the top 4, JM, Pubdog, like.
oh, no rain at all. I was about to say, the thing is, could it be raining? Because I didn't check my phone during the qualifying, but I think if it was raining, someone would have pinged me, and I would have seen the ring. But after that qualifying, well, we haven't really learned much, have we? We knew Gabri, Kuko, Sean, Sully were fast.
Yeah.
So no surprises there. But we are definitely in for an exciting 26 laps around Silverstone. We know how tough the tire wear is from yesterday. Many drivers were unable to make the one-stop work. Of course, the rain certainly played a bit of a factor in that. It came near the end of the race, but didn't really reach intermediate conditions. So that certainly complicated the strategy a bit.
At least it's not something like last season. It's still haunting me.
What, the amount of rain, or?
No, the amount of bugs in one race. Like, why are fresh hard tires faster in the rain than winters?
Here we go then. The formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building.
We've got hards for Kuko and Sully, the rest of the field on mediums.
Medium.
So they are all keeping options open. They'll see what the tire wear is like and then decide if they have to go for the 1 or 2 stop. Of course, the tire options have changed since the last time we raced here. Last time I think it was the C3, 2 and 1. Now it's the 4, 3 and 2. So it's 1 step softer. Higher number is softer, right? Either way, it's one step softer, so you have more wear and your lap times are faster. Yeah, that's why the game also is suggesting a 2-stop, but of course, with how long this pit lane is, if you can make a 1-stop work, it's definitely worth it.
The fastest.
Yeah, by far the fastest. There's not a coincidence that the 4 guys who did the 1-stop in Division 3 are also in the top 4 of the result screen, you know? So we'll see if the drivers are able to make 1-stop work, if they can manage the tires well enough, or if they can't, if they can make up the time lost in the pit lane. Here we go then. For the first time in Season 18, we're ready for Lights Out in Division 2. It's a 5 at lights, and... Lights out, and away we go here in Silverstone, and Gabriel gets away quite decently, a bit of a wobble on the second phase in the start, but he's still ahead to turn 1, as Sean jumps his teammate Kuko down towards turn 1. Kuko gets attacked by JM from in behind. JM is on top of Sully. What am I seeing? No, what am I seeing? What am I seeing? What did he think?
Alex Pocho, model class.
I think it's sorting itself out there as JM was on top of Pub Dog, coming through turn 2. Thankfully that hasn't caused any incidents, but Pocho, yeah, down in last position, so there was an incident somewhere in the midfield. And XG as well dropping down to last. And contact between Staff and Pix as they battle over 7th. Pix goes right back up the inside. And it gets a position. A nice move by Pix. The top 3, well, the only changes there on the top 5 even, I think. Sean and Kuko swapping the Ferraris as Staff and Pix are battling through Cops.
Oh.
Staff goes off track now, and that means Pix is going to be coming out ahead of him. But down towards Magnus back as Pix come back at him. And this time he has got the position. Staff up into 7th. And there's a car off. That is Aussie. Made a mistake from Maggots and Beckett. Rejoined where he was though, so I'm guessing a track warning maybe. As Pix and Aussie are now in a duel down towards Stowe. And there's a McLaren way off, that's Viral. Who has a spin coming out of Stowe. Drops down to P18. As Sully and JM are now having a battle on the main straight. And JM is pulled ahead on the outside, Sully's going back out of that one. Pocho in the pit lane on the first lap of the race already. The top 3 so far have broken away out of the range. I think JM and Sully lost time with the battle that they had. I think maybe Sully made a mistake, so that's not really the spot that you see people going for all takes. So maybe he invited JM in like that. Now Sean though with the attack on Gabriel from the outside into Lovefield. Tries to hang around the outside. Gabriel's gonna have now the outside for the line, the outside line for the second part of Lovefield. But that is Sean Mull up the inside and through into the lead of the race. Great start by Sean, he got Kuko off the line, now on lap 2 he gets Gabriel. And for the second season in a row, on the first race of the season, Sean is right back at the top and announcing himself as a driver to look out for once again. Kuko now all over back of Gabriel as well. JM is caught back up, we've got a train all the way down to Action Rig. All in the ES range, as Kuko looks for the outside line. That would have been one hell of a move. And now he looks for it once again into Club up the inside. Kuko breaks lazy days to make a bit of contact, set back in side pods. And Kuko looks for the switchback. But it's not going to be possible. The curve on the inside unsettles him way too much. And he drops way behind Gabriel, who's almost off the ES range to Sean now. That battle with Kuko almost costing him the DRS to Sean and making him very vulnerable to the cars behind. But all of that battling has of course invited JM and Sully right back into the fight. Pubdog I think is just about outside DRS range here, so the top 5 have broken away for the moment. With how much they were fighting earlier. That could change by next DRS straight again. As Pubdog is looking for a move on Staff. The other way around, Staff on Pubdog. I couldn't tell apart the Aston and the Mercedes.
Touch again. Outside. No VS.
Staff looks for up the inside, but that would be too aggressive, yeah. Has to back out. That's gonna wait for the DS, I imagine. Pubdog one of DS and the cars ahead. That should be a good spot for Staff to get the move done this time around and move up to 6. Oh! JM is off! JM with a spin coming out of Chapo. I saw it from Sully's onboard. Just drops on traction, goes in the wall. I don't think he got damage. But of course he loses yeah, so much time, so many positions, rejoins the race in 18th. The only car behind him, Poggio, already made a pit stop. And the game will not give me a camera angle. Yeah, it just won't tell me if he's damaged. Pubdog is in the pit lane on lap 4. So he must have damage as well, surely, otherwise it is very early for a stop. JM is in as well, so maybe he got damage as well from that collision with the wall. And that is a wing change for Pubdog and a wing change for JM.
Got wing damage.
Not sure where from.
From the second collision stuff.
Oh, well, that's poor. Swap for 9 to Escalon has gotten past Lanky Brown. We've got Gilles Valentine and Alex G side by side with Rival in behind Alex G all over the grass down the straight. These three are having a very intense battle. Alex G looks for the outside line, but the car gets a little bit loose and allows Gilles Valentine to secure the position for P13. Lanky is now also taken by Bazooka.
It's well just a switch back and it works out.
Somehow Bazooka is now back behind Maxi and Lanky. What the hell's going on there? JM with the pit stop coming out in dead last. Pubdog in 17th. So yeah, a lot of ground to make up there.
Bazooka gets back at Maxi.
A nice move through snow. We've got a pit stopper from Lanky, I believe that is. On the 5th lap of the race, Lanky into the pit lane. I don't think I saw him get damaged, but maybe he did. It could be just a very aggressive and early 2-stop, aggressive undercut. Because I don't think I see a wing.
Tires.
Yep, no wing change for Lanky, just a very aggressive undercut.
Sully is close on Cuckoo, but nothing happened.
Yeah, the top 4 of course have broken away. Cuckoo and Sully on the hard. We'll have the advantage later on.
Ossi can get through.
Ah, bit of a lock-up though. Ossi maybe invited back in, but I don't think so. Up the inside! Surely not, surely not! That would have been a hell of a move, but once again, it didn't quite work out, didn't get the action they needed. But it did get underneath him quite nicely. So Cuckoo and Sully now, the crucial thing for them is they stay in DAS range to Gabriel and Sean, and then they will have the advantage later on when they fit for the mediums. I would imagine all of these guys are aiming for a 1-stop, if they can somehow make it work. Gabriel looks for the run on Sean, looks up the inside, backs out of it.
That's surprising, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he had all at ES to burn, he could have just easily made that work if he wanted to. But he burned some to get alongside and then stopped burning and didn't get the position. Either you commit for it or you don't go for it. That was a bit weird, I would say.
Was pitting.
Responding to the undercut of Lanky, I would imagine. Making sure he doesn't drop too far behind him. Swap for 18th there, JM gets past Poggio coming into Maggots and Beckett's.
Something I've noticed is that Gabriel and stuff are underfueled.
And a battle for the lead here as Gabriel's on the inside of Sean Wool through Lovefield. Sean Wool is the inside now for the second part. And that's a beautiful run, beautiful traction. And completely clears Gabriel in there, and Sean Wool also to the lead. But Gabriel is definitely putting the pressure on. It was the second time now that Gabriel has gotten himself alongside and looks for a move. In only half a lap. But that little battle has invited Cuckoo right back onto his tail. And maybe Cuckoo has a chance to reclaim second place in this race. He hadn't at the start. And there's Staff as well. Looking at this fight from afar and thinking, well, he'd love to get involved, I imagine. Hopes that these guys will battle a little bit harder, lose themselves a little bit more time. A slop for 11th there as Skoloin is on the inside of Ossi. For 11th? 8th. I can't speak anymore already. And Skoloin goes around the outside. Inside for the second part, and that's a move done.
Alex gets 3 seconds. Oh,
Textbook overtake. And yeah, already penalties.
3 seconds.
for Owais and Alex G.
Oh, Sean lost the car.
I think this time around Gabri is too close to Sean to try and defend here. Sean covers the middle of the track, Gabri goes outside and clears him. Sean looks back up the inside, they make contact, there's a yellow flag behind. And Gabri now fully ahead, coming out of left field. And has the exit needs up until the lead of the race, but Sean is going to try and come back at him with the EAS used down towards Cobb. Sean is the outside line now, can he swoop around the outside? They're still side by side, Gabri with the inside line and the advantage. There's now 3 wide, it looks like. No, Kuku's not involved. 2 wide into Maggots and Beckett, and Sean does pull ahead once more. What a battle we're seeing for the lead of the race here. And now Kuku and Sully are right there. With Gabri and Sean having used low of the EAS, could this be Kuku's chance to get Gabri and maybe get his teammate as well? Gabri covering the inside, Kuku's even further inside, fully on the grass. Up the inside, into Stone, they make contact! Gabri is almost round, saves it, and Sully slips through on them both. Kuku and Gabri bang wheels down the straight into Club and Vale, and there is Staff now. Exactly what I said. He wants those guys to battle a little bit more, well they have, and here he is.
Sully gets through.
And Kuku really wasting absolutely no time to get this championship fight between Haas and Ferrari underway and spicy. Contact at Snow as he goes for an aggressive move. And thankfully for Gabri, he managed to save that car still, but he's lost the place to Sully. Who, yeah, a beautiful switchback on them too. Saw the chaos, yeah, happening in front of him, and took full advantage. And now he's staring at the back of Sean, and is in a position to take the lead of the race. Of course, the mediums, or today at this point, probably slower than the hards.
5 bombs, we'll see. Will it touch? Then does it work? It doesn't. Officially said.
So he goes deep through Cops, that's probably attractive at warning there. But he is fairly close to Sean. So now he can avoid the dirty air, and there's a yellow flag for... what's that, Pocho? Yes, Pocho with a spin. Here at the end of the first sector. And Sully with a round. Sean looks for the inside. Late on the brakes as he dares, and they are now side by side down towards the last corner. Sully on the outside. Once again, brakes late as he dares. Sean is still there. Still there. Still there. But now Sully on the exit finally pulls out and takes the lead of this race.
Oh, that's the hard tire.
Yeah, but for sure Sean is not going to give up on this one here. He has to keep an eye on Gabri in behind as well, but he's going to want to take that lead back from Sully, surely.
If I look, Sean has more weight than Gabri does. In the medium.
Can you see people's tire wear?
I can't, well, sort of. If I have it enabled, I can.
Oh, okay, so if they don't hide the data from you, that's great.
Yep. Sean can't see.
I'd say the guys who are still out on track right now, the medium runners, are probably going for a one-stop, otherwise they would have pit by now. Sponsor gets a speeding penalty, I imagine, at the end of this race. He just spun, he's like miles off the field, sure he's gonna retire.
If I look at it, I think the tire from Staff is the best one. From the mediums guys.
Oh, there we go, now Pouch is retired. I was wondering why he was still going. I thought he was going to go for fastest lap, but he's actually going to just soldier on even though he's miles off. That's unfortunate for Pocho. Not the start of the season he would have wanted. And there's a pit stopper, I think, no? No. Yes, Sean! Lap 9 and Sean is in. That is fairly early for a uncertainty, I would say, yeah.
Was going close too fast.
10 seconds for speeding for Skoloin. Anyone else? I think just him, right? Yeah, just him.
Yeah.
Alex G in the pits as well. I've got a yellow flag. That was Action Rick had a spin at Maggots and Beckett. And Sean Mull on the hards. He's gonna try and make it out of the race from here. And I think that's just about possible. But he has gone for a very aggressive early undercut here. 16 laps to go in this race.
I mean, it's possible, for sure.
Yeah. But he's gonna have to manage that a little bit. Of course, for now, he will have to put the hammer down and make sure he comes out in the lead, otherwise this whole strategy is a bit worthless. But then he has to tire save heavily while holding on to the positions. As Sully is breaking DRS from Gabri. The medium definitely showing big signs of wear by now. And Gabri couldn't hold on to the back of Sully. The same goes for Staff on the back of Kluko. He just about got DRS. But no DRS for Gabri. We'll see if Gabri and Staff respond to the undercut of Sean now, or if they go longer. Gabri's in.
Gabri does.
And Staff is gonna keep going. You did say his tires were the best of the bunch. And that will give him an advantage later on. As of course he will have an even bigger advantage on the hard when he goes later than everybody else. Pix in the pits as well. From a very, very good 5th position. Pix having a great race so far, quietly.
I can say about Staff, his biggest tire wear is 67 on the rear left.
After, 11 laps, that's really, really good.
The front of it is just 63, so he can do 2 laps.
And Gabri comes on the pit lane here. And there's Sean on the left hand side, of course. He does come out ahead and quite far. That undercut definitely worth it. Gabri about 1.5 seconds back from Sean.
But is it 1 lap? Because the tire wear for Sean was worse than for Gabri.
Yeah, now the chase is gonna begin. Of course, Gabri will have a slight advantage first in this race. As Pix comes out in the traffic there between Lanky and Ossie and Pupdog. And Varel involved as well there, those guys of course pitting earlier. And Lanky with a disconnect! Just as he gets back into the race after his early stop, just as his strategy gets interesting, it is taken out of his hands, the AI takes over. And no DS in the top 3 right now, and Staff's gonna take the opportunity and come into the pit lane as well. 1 lap after Gabri, 2 laps after Sean. And of course he was already behind him, so I imagine he's gonna have to do all that work he did to catch up once again. Got a pit stop from Always as well, and Bazooka, and Jules Valentine. That means the last driver on the mediums now is Action Rick. Everybody else finally making their pit stop. Soli and Kuko still going as well, of course. Start on the hards. That's to be expected. Like you're asking me for an invite, I can send another one, that's no problem. There we go, invite sent. Staff comes to the pit lane in 5th position, 4 seconds behind Gabri. He's lost loads of time on that undercut.
As Pix tries to attack Rival, that's Ossie the same. See, I love this midfield already.
Rival, of course, with the earlier pit stop, has got significantly worse tires and a pit stop still to do. And Pix gets past him on the inside line there. Scorer has gone very deep, and Papdog slips back through into 9th. Now Ossie on the back of Rival. But Rival with the straight line advantage that pulls away on him, even though they have the same ERS usage.
Kuku caught up to Sully.
Battle for the lead background, but of course Sean is closing in. And Sully and Kuku will have a lot of work to do on that second stint. Once they go to the mediums, they're gonna have to catch back up to the train.
Kuku's last lap was 4 tenths faster than Sully.
Like he's still not back in the lobby, it seems. I can try and invite him again, I mean...
Oh, he did.
It can't hurt to keep spamming him with invites. There we go. Fast lap of the race from Brias Gabri as he is back in DRS range to Sean. The battle for 3rd place on track, and P1 pit stop cleared is on. He's still stuck behind Rival, but look at how close he is coming out of those closed corners. Now the DRS and some ERS used He drives past to happen to P7. And Lanky Brown continuing to lose places. He's still having connection issues, it seems. I did see his message just now. It said, what did you say? Can't connect the game, apparently. So that might be the end of Lanky's game, Lanky's race then. As it seems he's unable to get back in the lobby, unfortunately. He was in the fight for some points. Oh, there we go!
There he is.
But he's lost, yeah, a lot of time. He's down in P13 now. So he's gonna probably need a safety car to get much out of this race from that here. And Gabri all over back of Sean now. Staff 6 seconds back now. If anything, is lost time since the pit stop. So yeah, it does seem like that top 4 group has a little bit more pace in them than Staff does.
Escalon gets up to 9th.
A lot of tire difference all throughout the grid. It's gonna, yeah, causing a lot of movement everywhere. And I can't really stay on top of everything. And it's a very close midfield fight as well here. If we look at Scolorin in 9th. Sorry, no, Pix in 6th, that is, in the front of that train. All the way down to Lanky Brown here. It's really not that far away.
And Sully got out of the seconds again for Cuckoo with a few thousands.
Yeah, Cuckoo is hovering like just outside or just within the second range all the time. Seems to keep getting DRS back and losing it again. We'll see if Sully eventually, finally gets rid of him for good. I think Gabriel's setting up for a move on Sean. He's low of ERS and he's very close behind as we go down towards the S section. Sean though with a good amount of ERS as well. He can definitely defend this if he wants to. And of course, there's no reason for Sean to give up this P1 without a fight. Is Gabi gonna have the run? Sully's in the pit lane fairly early if he's gonna want to go to the end on mediums from here. Gabi to the inside line for Stowe. And Sean looks for the switchback. Hasn't got the run, but maybe down towards Club. He goes up the inside. Sean, late on the brakes. Gabi knocks all 4 tires. Oh, and Sean! They make contact on the exit. Sean is almost round, loses quite a bit of time there. And Gabi up in the 3rd place. Sully coming out of the pit lane.
Just
I imagine in 5th
ahead.
place. Just behind Stuff for sure, yeah.
No, behind Stuff.
But not too far behind him actually, considering that Staff pitted 3 laps ago.
But also go overtake them and gap them.
JM in the pits for a 2nd time now. Freshened off hearts and go to the end from here. Oh, and Sully! Sully with a big moment! Coming through Crops, he does save it, but he's lost a significant amount of time and put crucial wear on that tire. He's already going to struggle to make the end from here. So that could also be crucial. And that moment could cost him position as Kuku. He's lost about 2 seconds there, I would say. With Kuku now in the pit lane, that could be crucial.
I'm just saying 7%. 8% on the side. After 1 lap. With the
Yeah,
half
that spin has cost a lot of wear. And those few percent will make the difference. It is that marginal around Silverstone now with the tire changes. And Kuko is gonna come out behind Sully, and quite far behind Sully actually. Even with the spin, Kuko's gonna come out in 7th behind Aussie, and Sully has got 2 cars from himself and Kuko.
That could be vital for the end.
Kuko needs to get past Aussie as soon as he possibly can. Wastes absolutely no time, gets him down towards Luffield. Up next, Pix.
Especially with Stuff being 5 seconds behind Sean and Gabi. Like, it's for Kuku, he has to catch 10 seconds. In 11 laps. It's possible, but he has to fly now. Otherwise, it's gonna be too close with Terrible.
Certainly is a tricky spot for Kuku to be in. You should get picks in the next DRS straight.
He has to.
Yeah, he can't afford to lose any more time here. I don't think Pick's gonna really put much of a fight up. He's not using the overtake button, he lets Kuku go. He knows Kuku isn't winning his race, he's racing against Aussie. Kuku on much faster tires, of course. No chance of Pix to defend that for 10 laps, so no reason to waste his energy and waste time battling.
Astral and Papdog pit again.
Two-stop strategies here in the midfield, quite a few of them. But I think now everyone is going to the end, bar Lanky, I guess. Maybe Alex G still has a pit stop, but I don't think so. I think everyone's going to try and make the end. We've got a wing change to Papdog as well. So those who are on the second stop now are Viral, Papdog, JM and Lanky, everybody else on what I think is a one stop. And Lanky might even be on a 3 stop because that 5 lap on medium, 9 laps to go. Ooh, yeah, he's back in the pits. Sully in the S range now to Staff. A battle for P3 on here. He's a little bit low in the ES, and that could make it difficult for him to get the move done. But if he wants to gain that time back on Sean and Garber, he can't really afford to lose much time here, but I don't think he has a chance of a move. He's not got the ES that he needs. Or does he? Staff? Actually just lets him go.
That's
Staff's
surprising.
in an unknown for the whole straight and does not even try and defend. I guess he's gonna try and yeah, stick with him now.
Yeah.
Use
If
him
he
to
knows his tires are gonna be dead.
yeah, I guess he wants to use him to hold off Kuko. And he decided to not waste any of his ES. And yeah, he is staying with him rather easily.
Scarby gaps shown 1.7,
Of course,
1.8.
Staff also gonna have to do a bit of fuel saving, and driving in someone's dirty air helps with tire saving. So it's yeah, not a bad move by Staff to let Sully go ahead. Ding dong battle for P12 here, which has just ended as they come on board. Great. Jules Valentine has passed Maxi in the end. Unless Maxi can get back at him the next DRS straight. Oh, he can't. That's not gonna happen. Gets beached on the curb, entering turn 4. That's a 3-second track limit warning as well. Or track limit penalty for multiple warnings, I should say. Kuko is just outside DRS range of Staff this time around, and that is crucial. But he's gonna need at least another lap to get himself that DRS. Gabri, in the meantime, he's back to positive on fuel. Staff still slightly in the negative, 0.3 laps. He needs to save in the next 8 laps. If he wants any chance of keeping that P4 he's currently in. Or even attacking Sully for P3. I would say out of that top 5 group, Staff will be on the best tires at the end of the race. I think those mediums will drop off, and of course he has special hards than Gabri and Sean, and they already had less wear than them on the first stint. So he could be in a fairly good spot. It's just that gap, the top 2 is of course
4 seconds,
pretty big.
1.5.
So he needs Sully to yeah, get a move on really, and then maybe both him and Kuko can take advantage of that. Just be pulled along by Sully, and we can have a fight, 5-way fight for the win.
Just saying, Sully has more wear than Staff has.
Already?
After 5 laps, yeah.
Ooh, Sully could actually be in trouble then. How much wear has he got now?
Staff has 30% highest, and Sully does 38 one left.
He already has 38 and he's got 6 laps to go. He's definitely in trouble. Can you see the wear of Sean and Gabri? Are they going to be making the end comfortably? Kuku's round!
30.
Not quite round, he's caught it, but he's lost a lot of time.
But still got the ES.
Yeah, he had a moment after the detection point. So I think he's just about going to keep the DRS here. Since now Stavsson has some dirty airs, can close back in. But that could have been his race ending in a nightmare.
Unfortunately, I can't see for Gabi and Sean. They haven't enabled it.
You're telling me the esports engineer has his telemetry public? And Gabri and Sean are too sweaty for that?
Yeah.
Poor. That is poor, guys.
Make a rule. That's good for me. Yeah, 3 has a problem now. 5 lap, 5 fast and 43.
And Staff is slowing down, doesn't want to pass him, which I'm not sure it's a good idea. He's definitely faster at this point, I would say. Sony is holding him up, if anything. I guess Staff hasn't really got much hope of catching Sean and Gabri. I mean, he needs almost a second left from here. So he's really only thinking about P3. And for that it could be the best strategy, actually, to just stick behind Sully as long as he can. And not waste any of his battery and his tire life and his fuel. Because he is, of course, going to be low on all 3 of that at the end. And then, yeah, only once Sully becomes unbearably slow he can go for the move. Kuko! That's not going to work. That isn't an AI, he doesn't just jump out the way.
To stop doing these moves.
That's the type of move you do against AI. Like, just lazily up the inside at a corner where you barely brake and they jump out your way. But real people don't jump out the way. Papdog with a speeding penalty and retires from the race, running in 15th.
We fought at China and Abu Dhabi.
So with a handful of laps to go, Sean still chasing after Gabri, trying to get back towards him.
And closer.
Yeah, but the problem that he has, of course, is the 1 lap tire advantage in favor of Gabri. And the fact that Gabri has a lot more ES. So it looks like Gabri has this race under control, but Sean is there in case any even small mistake happens from Gabri. And that gap to Sully in behind definitely only increasing. So it looks like our top 2 is going to be Gabri and Sean. And the battle going on is for P8 here, Always and Skoloin, but both with penalties. Skoloin with 13 seconds, and he has a big rear lock at the final corner, spins the car, and spins it again on traction. And that drops him down to P10. And with the penalty hanging over his head now, that will be him out of the point. I think the points could be going to JM at this point. With the penalties for Gilles Valta and Maxi as well. And JM having the best tires. We'll see how that develops over the next few laps. So yeah, Skoloin, Gilles Valta and Maxi, JM battling for that last points paying spot now.
Gabi not 2 seconds ahead.
So just I say Sean might get back in the DRS, might make this exciting again. Gabri puts the foot down and ruins any hope that we had of a fight for the race win.
Well, I think P1 2 kind of solid with Gabi and Sean, that's for sure, but P3 is hell open.
Yeah, I do think Staff has the best chances since his tires will just... I mean, every lap that goes by, Staff's advantage gets bigger with tires, you know? And he's being so careful, I think it looks like, to not put any wear on them. The only thing I'm worried about fuel, he's almost at 0.0 now. Perfect Staff. So he's literally just completely chilling behind Sully. He's now in the green on fuel. Not using even a single percent of battery.
So
we all know Kuko, he's not gonna give that fight up.
While Staff has 44.
Sully has 60% now.
Yeah.
Well, I think he'll make the end, but yeah, he's gonna lose a lot of pace at the end. Skoloin in the pits and retires in the race. It's not even going to try and get that points to the end, which is interesting. So 3 laps to go, but well, one less driver in the race, and that point paying position on track now goes to Jules Valentine. With the penalties, it goes to JM, since he is less than 3 seconds behind Jules Valentine and within penalty range, of course, of Maxi as well, as he is right behind him. And Sean is losing more and more time now. That gap has opened up to 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, same tires.
And Sean's tire, I mean, it is 13 laps old. It could have gone off a cliff.
That one left looks really bad.
Oh yeah, he's losing like tenths every corner now. And Gabriel's tire is only 1 lap younger. I think Sean has shot the tire. I mean, because even Sully is gaining loads of time.
That's 60 at least.
Ah, that's more. Because Sully is gaining significant amounts. Look at that. The gap to Gabriel is opening up so much.
Sean
is in big trouble. The battle for P2, with 3 laps to go, seems to be back on. Because Sully, Staff and Kuka are gaining at a rate of knots. Gabriel's got this race win in the bag now. Sean can't keep the pace with him. He's run out of tires. And the gap opening up very, very quickly.
It's going to be really close for Sully. It's 67. I reckon it's a shame for Sean.
Yeah, Sully having similar issues might be the thing that saves Sean in the end. The thing is that Staff, he's still not getting a move on. I'm not sure if Staff knows about Sean's tire issues, because if he did, surely he'd try and go for the move on Sully now to chase after him.
Probably last lap for Staff.
Yeah, because he seems to have a lot of pace in the back. I mean, his ES is constantly at 100%. He's being so smooth on the wheel. So driving through grass.
Kuku at base, so as he goes off track.
Yeah, Kuku of course also in a similar spot. In terms of where Sully, I would imagine. Slightly better, but not much. The mediums, I think they pitted a bit too early for those mediums really. But then again, if they pitted later, the gap would be even bigger to the cars ahead, so it's just a difficult spot to be in. Maybe the medium hard just was the better strategy. Even though yeah, on paper it looked like an advantage to have the faster tire later, but the medium doesn't seem a great race tire. Just doesn't last for long enough time really to be useful. So always has gotten past Aussie for 7th. Lanky's in the pits for ace of the softs. Try and get the fastest lap for Haas. And for himself, 1 point on the board that would be. Even if he is now a lap down. But that he is a lap down, I think it's fine, because yeah, these guys are on 25. So yeah, there is 2 laps for him still to go for him to get that fastest lap. And he can maybe even bum some DRS of someone. Sean's pace is stabilized against Sully, but the step is still growing at about a second a lap to Gabri. So maybe that's just Sully also going fully off the cliff. But with 1.5 laps to go, 3 seconds a gap, I think Sean is gonna keep that P2. But I do wonder how much tire he has. I'm gonna ask him after the race. I need to know, honestly. Because his pace is completely gone.
For Valentine.
Varel in the pits as well now. For a fast lap attempt as well as Lanky Browns. We've got a bit of a qualifying session here at the end of the race.
The Staff goes for it.
Not on the last lap, second last lap. Staff finally takes a position up in the 3rd place. And Sully has not got any answer for that. Can he even keep up with him and yeah, stay in DS range?
The last lap is gonna make it 79% for Sully.
Oh, Sully risking puncture then. 80% is when the tire can puncture. So from now to the end it could blow at any moment. Jules Valentine with a 3-second time penalty there. And look at the amount of time that Staff is gaining on Sean now. If he had made that move earlier, he would have been an easy P2.
Staying to last lap.
And we've got a yellow flag for Alex G, who has had a spin at Maggots and Beckets. And Staff has already gained a second on Sully behind and Sean ahead. Staff is absolutely flying.
Too late, mate. Too late.
Yeah, you waited too long. Look at Sean, he can barely keep the... He's in 2nd gear through Luffield. It might not even be too late, it might actually work. Yes, yeah, now Staff is putting everything he has on the table. Kuko's in the battle with Sully for 4th place still. Of course, Gabri needs his moment in the sun. What a race he's had, in control for so much of that second stint. And a very, very well-deserved win on the season opener here in Britain. Takes the championship lead as well. With a quick look in behind, is Kuko close enough to Sully for a run down towards Stowe? I don't think so.
Doesn't
He's
look
gonna
like
burn all the way down the straight, but he's too far back. Still a second from Staff to Sean, so Sean will hold on to P2, I would say. Kuko is not going to have a chance of ascent down to the last corner. Gabri crosses the line and wins in Britain. Sean is just about going to hold on against Staff for second place. One more lap would have been it, or one lap earlier for Staff to make the pass against Sully. As Sully brings the car home in 4th on that absolutely short tyre. Kuko in 5th, and then picks with a great result in P6. Always 8 seconds behind him in 7th. With a time penalty hanging over his head, but I think he will stay in 7th. He had 3 seconds if I'm not mistaken. So Bazooka brings home P8 ahead of Aussie in 9th. They come out the last corner there together. And JM with the final points paying position there in P10. Up next, Jills Valentine, the fast lap of the race, well still up for grabs currently. Lanky Brown has it, 28.518, but Violet of course going for it. Then Maxine 12th, Alex G into the last couple of corners, currently in 13th. The penalties won't change anything there. He's got big gaps in front and behind. And then over the line for him, with Viral having a go at the fast lap still. Can he beat Lanky Brown and get himself that point? Or is Lanky gonna keep it? It goes to Lanky. Unless Action Rick has a storming final lap on 14 lap on Hearts, but that would be quite something. Action Rick brings the car home in P15, and that is the first race of Season 18 in Division 2 officially done. And here we are on the podium. Gabri. What a start in the season. Absolutely perfect for him. What he needed to start his championship fight. It would be his first in Division 2 after so long. 17 races to go, 17 more like that, and it would be, well, a very hell of a season, I would say. But this is the sort of performance you need.
For Gabri, no warnings. Sean had 2. So
Well, pole to win, no warnings, a flawless performance from Gabri. Exactly what he needs. Someone that's not cleanest driver. Interesting. Jels Valentine with the most overtakes. Bazooka is driver of the day from the game. Fast lap from Lanky. I personally would give driver of the day to probably Pix. He had a great race.
6 from 9th, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
11
well,
seconds ahead of Allwise, which I would say that's his competition. The midfield drivers in Division 2. Like that top 5 group is not the drivers Pix is racing. He beat the drivers he is racing by margin. Great races from Sean as well. And Kuko, Ferrari with a good start to the season. They are the leaders of the Constructors' Championship, ahead of Haas by 2 points after the first race. Staff as a reserve with the podium as well there. Great race by him and good points for Aston Martin. Wow, that was a good opener.
Now is the question, what if Staff overtook earlier? He would have definitely caught up to Sean.
Yeah, he just, I think, wasted a bit too much time doing that old league racing instead of just waiting for the last lap, you know, but not realizing, I think, maybe how bad Sully's tire was and how much time that Sully was losing him.
Yeah, also like
and,
1 lap more and Sully tires would have been popped, for sure.
Yeah, and if Staff had gone for that move a lap or even 2 laps earlier, which he certainly could have, he had the pace over Sully to make the move whenever he wanted to. Sully had nothing to defend with. Which, like, the first time Staff tried to attack him, he got passed immediately. So yeah, maybe that is a P2 that he lost there. But that's 3 points that go towards Ferrari and Sean, that don't go towards Aston Martin and Staff.
Yeah, the last lap for Staff was the first 2 sectors were green. So he even improved, like, it's a shame. Kind of. But honestly, after the first race, I'm really looking forward to the season. Especially the midfield. It's so tied up.
Yeah, I think we are in store for a good season. I mean, as we always are, it's Division 2. When are we not in store for a good season? But very promising stuff there. Great fight for the win. Kuko, Sean, Gabri, Sully, Stav as well as reserve, well Sully also reserve, all looking very competitive. We've got a good group of drivers who are going to be fighting for those wins, it looks like. Next week we're going to Vegas. What a race that could be. Las Vegas, the first time we're going racing there on this game. Very excited to see how that goes. Of course, we've got one more race as well in Silverstone on Saturday in Division 1. Excited for that opening as well. It's been... the break is too long.
It really did, yeah.
I want to go back to racing already. I've missed it. Yeah, is that all I need to say? Any final words from you still, or have you said everything that needs to be said?
No, I'm done. Just thanks for being here. Okay, so, yeah, looking forward to the season.
Yeah, exactly. Can only add to that. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to the drivers for putting on the show. Thank you to Connor for joining me. And have a good evening, everyone. See you next week.